Azai po siate kan tua mi viau te he azai kan tila asulam kan thailo le zerong da kan tua te mi kan thailo asia chinte san kai lo tia Bible cha kan hu ma khas ko chu sa chun ma kan tua mi viau te he zai da si zerong da kan tua sulam angai mo amman mo te mi kha ka hin sia thong talen sinin chompal bia toy te chim nak chan kan rak som tan halai jang fa nak te kut beng bu som hau simo.
Okay, now we're going to invite our brother Thawng, so he is going to present on our history, as in who we are as Chin, and our background and all the information that we need. So I hope that you guys are listening and that you're taking in as much as you can. Okay.
Okay. Kemarin tentang kata hau na lungwai wan tua mong sana hak kata aku hau kau ai. Terbentukin ajan sungloi kampe tu petian min tang taskau se. Terbentuk sungloi tuk min Nunphung le Zatlang jantea kita zong jantea nang kepeke kan Nunphung le kan Tuanbia simnang santa kumuca kalom tuk singshan tekam sibkawan simta kadu. Ini do tuk singshan dunia khas siapa ni kuliah heta chun adu lawe. Lai mi te bak nan se ni do tuk namui kan zau nai lai mi bak nan se. Okay. Selo kan ni lom tuk singshan le kam kana upale le kan sa kan pastor zong ni kan kan fale je cha de wa ban chim ko lo kan ni upa de chu kan Tuanbia he tam de chu kan thai sang ko e merang ho de zong en ka ban chim ko lo tia akti cha kan merang ho pe non te ka ban chim lai e nan ka ro thiam nak lai ka men kan som ha kan chan zong ka chang cha kan ka ban chim zo ko lai tompel merang ho kan chim lai tompel lai ho kan ban chim te lai. All right, so as our parents and our pastor has requested, today I will be presenting and sharing our culture and our history in English. And first of all, I would like to show my respect to the people who are suffering at Myanmar, who are giving their lives and suffering so much for our country. So they deserve to give our respect to them. So I would like to give respect to them first. And it's a privilege to make a speech on this special occasion. I would like to express my appreciation to all the leaders who have given me this opportunity to share our history in this, our first culture night held by SCBC. So first off, I would like to share where the name Chin came from. Chin refers to our identity. It is used by other ethnic groups, such as Kachin, Shan, as well as the Burmese people, to identify our Chin people. When we talk about the Chin people, we believe that we are related to the Kachin people. It has been said that Chin was older brother and Kachin was the younger brother. When these two brothers came to Burma from Mount Hukong in China, the younger brother, Kachin, stopped to take a brief break. However, his older brother continued without waiting for his brother, believing that he would catch up. As he continued his journey, he made ways for his brother by cutting the banana trees. And the thing with these banana trees, as you can see over here, is that they start to shoot up as soon as they are cut. So therefore, it is hard to recognize that they have just been cut. Kachin family firmly believed that his older brother had left him behind as he could not recognize the banana trees. And that his brother had cut to make ways. He looked at the footprints of his brother and called it Kang, which translates to footprint. It is believed that when the Kachin people built a house, they always built bigger by an extra foot. The meaning behind that is that if the older brother ever returns, then there would be a space for him. This has become the tradition. Carrie and Tuck recorded that the term Chin in Chinese translates to people, which comes from Jim or Jin. It was said that the Burmese people pronounce it as Chin in their own way. The Chin people predominantly resided around the Chindun River bank, and Chinduin itself signifies this area. The term Chinduin means inside the Chin land. Ever since the 11th century, the name Chin had been in records. From 1783 to 1796, the Catholic missionary Father Senga Momo referred to Chin as Chain, or Chin Hill was called Chain Mountain. In 1826, Shakespeare also referred to Chin as kin. Later, Newland also used the term Chin in a book. What I want to say from here is that even before Zomi, Laimi, Kumi, Asu, Cho, and Kuki were known as Chin. Furthermore, these groups are identified as a part of the Chin ethnic group. According to the UNO document from November 1992, the Chin people are found in Burma, India, and Bangladesh, where they reside in various regions and recognized as its own racial group. Additionally, in 2001, the Underrepresented Nations and People Organization acknowledged the Chin people, marking a significant recognition of the identity. Tunai kamuna zaida kachimdu tisya chun Chin temi min he kan inpa asimi kachin shan le golne mi punmin chana khan an kan outnak mi asi. Tuanbia kan zawe an chimto mi kan ngai si sia chun Chin le kachin he unaw kan si ti ante. Esnaten khol an bunton lewa khan ral anzam lewa khan. Chin upa de ni khan kachin anaw pa kha ingta akal lewa khan awen kal take bancang kha atan take metika ka doi te lai arwa asnaten bancang chun theben tu sa le changa ten khan abun chor to te ka khan lam tha pia akal changro te ati ku ka phana chun kachin ni chun khwa abun sa te kha kan thai kho mi chu se chiti chun an umme atu kachin zong ni khan a upa chin chu ar kir than la te arwa tu ni tu chantiang he an inna khin ma a upa nak ding huna chun in khan pakhat te kha asak pek peng te tikha kan hu kho mi se chu ni hin ni tiang an Nunphung ben to ka na chia mi se e carry le thak e record an dia mi chu zai city sia chun Chin te mi he tuluk a hol in arami se tuluk hol in chun minung tinak sulam ase ani ni chu James lawa chun Jin tia an rak chim mi ase kol pol ni khan an kan au thim lo ronga khan Chin tia an rak kan te nan thaiban to kan Chin duin te wa ron ni Chin mi pol an rak nak hun ma ase Chin duin tia an au nak zong he ase asul lam chu Chin ram chung te nak ase kum zabu thai khat leo Burma la lung chatial a khan Chin tia arak tial ve chu cha chun Chin te mi phun ai o tu min cha an rak ngai chang adang min kha chu ateng nge la kan ateng ngen kan au nak si te kha oi khan na ban lang tar ka du apan hi na ka kavun chimdu mi chu kan chu ke nak hun po kha slai. So secondly, I would like to present our places and regions of our origins. The places where the Chin people originate are discussed by historians such as Professor Louis Gordon and Dr. Tan Twin, who state that the ethnic groups of Southeast Asia are part of the Tibetan-Burma family. The Tibetan-Burma family originated from Xi'an in China. Our major area of origin is in the Gansu province of China. The Chinese attacked this area and the people moved towards the mountains slowly over time. It is said that some resided in Tibet and some came from the Suli River, Thanlun River, Yunnan State, and in Mount Hukong to Burma. Researchers of ancient inheritance and history assert that our people belong to Muklot ethnic group. So this is their research. First, Louis mentioned in the tribe of Burma. Secondly, is published in the Burma Research Journal, article number 4, CA. As Sophie discussed in the short history of Kuki Lusai, and Shakespeare wrote in Lusai Kuki Clan. Carey and Tuck wrote in the Chin Hill, and Lemon discussed in the structure of Chin society. So all of which affirm that the Chin people are indeed a part of Muklok group. Kamga ka chimdu mi chu Chin mi phun kan rakchu ke anak mun he petla in history la in professor asami ลุยส์โกลเดนและดรตันทุนนิจุน South Asia ท่าฮีทิเบตเบอร์มามีพุนบูอินอารามีกันสีจุนทิเบตเบอร์มาบุญหาจู Chinese รัมชงชีอานอินอารามีอันสีเตียอันตีกันชัวเกนักหุ่นมาตักจูชินรัม China รัมกันสัวสิจุกาหุ่นรองจูตลุกนี่อันรักตุกติกะทั้งเลยดุษาเตนอันรักเอเทียอาเชลจุติบิดานอาเชลจุสุลิเตวาตันลุนเตวาและยูเอ็นสเตย์จงมินจุนฮูคองตังตันปะอินเบอร์มารำชงอันรุติคาตุนเบียอันชิมโตมิจูเซ And according to UNO document from sorry I've said that. And so how we get to the land of Chin, which is Lairam. After separation from the Kachin, they resided between Irrawaddy and Chinduin as there was some conflict in that area. The Chin people moved beyond the Chinduin River to Kalay, Kabor, Minta, and Yo district. From that place, people of Tadim, which is Zhou, Mizo, and Huangou went over to the lesser river towards Kalemio, which is Kalay city, and arrived in 980. Some other went over the Minipur River and arrived in the Sempi village around 1400 AD. They relocated after and arrived in Lailun Cave, located in Suntla, Falam. From Lailun Cave came people of Hakka, Chunjung, Hirlon, Hering, Aive, Sakta, Zokua, and including Senthang. After the separations in 1400 AD, they were all located in different areas of the mountain, the hills. They also developed their own different language. Now we don't even remember we were once brother. However, when the English people came and saw our customs and traditions, they immediately recognized us as the same ethnic group. Since then, although 600 years has passed from the separation, they realized again that we were once brother. Ekam pupa Tuanbia kan zo tega hen kam pupa han rak nak Erawati Chinduin kar laga khan ral tho cha Chinduin tewa in kha an throne kale kabo mitha le yo peng la ya khin an phan tim kha Tuanbia kan hu kho mi se jati chun chak lai lai asmi te dim mi zo hol ngo po chu kale mi la kale mi a khan edi ko ronga an rak phane jati chun a cheu chu simpi khwa te mi falampong lai lu na khan edi zli ronga thongkhat le zli ronga an phan ti kha Tuanbia kan hu kho mi se da phak ten cave na kha repeat ta lo lungko nak te kha lailun lungkwa chu flam peng sun thla kho ponga mi se lailun lungkwa chun ha kha lai ti mi pol chu chunjung Hirlon Hering Aive chun sakta zo khole sen thang rama khan kan rak phan chuti chun an finglet lang adan ban tuk in khan ule naw an sika kum sau pi kum zuk rong an rak thailawe mirang pen nak po arak lun tika khan mirang pan rak lun tika kan Tuanbia po kha an het thlai an zo than tika khan hin ha hi unaw pen skau hi ti an rak te e chuti chun unaw kan sina kha pakhat le pakhat an kan chimta an kan chim biak tika an han chu ra kan sto nga ten chu an kan chim hnuin khan hoile kom ban tuk en kan hu than ti mi kha hi ka manai bun lang ter ka du mi chu se And after that, Burma gained independence from the British colonization in 1947, and the Chin people became governed by the Burmese military a few years from then on. Not only that, in 1988, the students protested. As a result, we had government in every area of the Chin land and hindered the Chin people from freedom to work and earn their living. They took away the rights to practice our religion, the rights for proper education, and took away proper healthcare systems. Therefore, in January 2009, the Human Rights Watch reported worldwide that the Chin people are not safe in Burma, which is Myanmar, or in India. They did a clear report of the living situation of the Chin people in Burma and in India. With the help of UNHCR, we were able to relocate to the first world countries. As a result, many of the Chin people have access to better living conditions. in the first world countries. Even as Thawng people, according to 2015 Jubilee magazine published in Malaysia, more than 5,000 of us have relocated to other countries. Today, there are at least 7,000 to 8,000 of us in the first world countries. The UNHCR has been providing significant support, particularly in facilitating the relocations of refugees in Europe. The groundwork of assistance of refugees began in 1944 with the establishment of the United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Administrations after World War III. In 1947, the UN changed the name International Refugee Organizations, which is IRO, which many people disagreed. On December 14, 1949, the UN General Assembly established the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, which now we know as UNHCR. As they could not come to a complete agreement, they held the decree for 3 years. This assistance primarily was to address issues related to resettlement in Europe. But on July 28, 1951, the UN adopted the Convention related to the status of refugee in Geneva, which set out the rights of refugees and the obligations of states to protect them. The criteria for refugee status were defined following the 1967 protocol, which expanded the original definition. The UNHCR established specific criteria for what constitutes a refugee for the whole world. The 1951 UN Refugee Convention laid the groundwork for defining refugee. And the 1967 protocol further clarified these criteria. As a result, the countries that are signatories to the protocol must recognize the term refugee based on these established criteria. The person is considered a refugee based on various criteria: the reason for fleeing the country, the circumstances of their escape, their ethnic background, and the threats they face, including persecution based on race, religion, nationality, or political opinion. If they are unable or unwilling to return to their home country due to these threats, they qualify as a refugee. This definition is particularly relevant when discussing individuals who flee from such circumstances. Therefore, if someone meets this criteria, they can be recognized as refugee. Therefore, in 1951, the United Nations established criteria that are applicable to the Chin people's situation. These criteria were outlined to address the challenges faced by the Chin. And in January 2009, Human Rights Watch released a report stating that the Chin people are not safe in their homeland and face significant challenges in India as well. This highlights the awful circumstances that the Chin community faces, indicating the lack of protection and support for them. Hikamunahin Zerwada Hikamunai can ret me here can need lie me polnichun can take a hurt attack me say. Around to here quick Zerwada Malaysia can park Zerwada US can park the he can take low CCA chun can talk in a can take low the here say. Around to Mitchell Nichun Hikamha can ret me here Lile Rockful can dar with ya and Rua. He hears low around to Naga Chimman took in UN criteria and Naye. To criteria chunga atlak ning ten hikaramahin arapan ko mi kan arapan mi kan city ka kan falete ni antayokase. Arong to hikamuna kan red mi hili le rockfolin kan rati anirwa suwa sisia chun chu an than pisia chun ancha athar lo mi sa khan kani hikamuna ram thumna kan phak me he UN criteria an che mi chung he atlak in ta chuna ka biak nak leile politic leile apun punin harsat nak kan ratur mi kha UN ni ampom cha hikamuna hin kan rapan khau ti mi kha hikamuna hin bunlang tar kadu. Next slide, please. So how can we keep our roots away from our homeland? Our communities who are living in the first world countries play a crucial role in keeping our identity. The way we understand our identity is deeply connected to our community life. The connection reflects how different ethnic groups coexist, and sociologists study this dynamic. They argue that the way an ethnic group defines itself is influenced by both its internal identity and the external interaction with other groups. This highlights the significance of communal identity in keeping our customs and tradition alive even when we are living in other countries. Therefore, the identity of our people cannot exist in isolation. The customs and practices that shape our culture are essential. These customs and practices form our identity. And when we reflect on them, we see that our identity is rooted in these collective experiences. This communal aspect is crucial. Without it, individual identities struggle to thrive. When individuals face challenges, it is often through the support of their community that they find resilience, highlighting the importance of unity among different ethnic groups. Furthermore, the essence of our ethnic identity is reflected in our traditions, beliefs, and the way we live together as community. John Turner stated, "The identity of our people is shaped by our interactions in knowing our differences and the relationship we build with other people." Sociologist Roger also emphasized that identity is fundamentally connected to how individuals perceive themselves within their communities and not just as one individual in their own. This highlights the significance of the community in shaping our identity. Individuals cannot fully realize their identity in isolation. It is through the shared experiences and connections with others that our collective identity is formed. This aspect of our identity cannot be fully understood in isolation. To grasp the essence of our identity, we must consider the various contexts and experiences that shaped it. What makes the Chinland so special to us? This aspect is deeply connected to our sense of identity. Why do we say we miss Chinland when we are here, when we are living in a country that has so many opportunities? It is a place that embodies our identity and heritage. In discussing our identity, we recognize that sharing our communion experiences and shared narratives are vital wherever we are in the world. Our traditions, songs, values, cultural practices form the foundation of our identity. These elements reflect our history and the bonds we share, illustrating the richness of our cultural heritage. The Chin people have a rich cultural heritage that encompasses various aspects of life. Our traditions and practices include significant communal gatherings and celebrations. Not everyone in the world can say that they have the same cultural heritage as us, Chin people. Through songs and dances, we express our identity and strengthen our bonds. During our celebrations, we engage in traditional music and festivities, which bring joy and unity. Our songs are not just entertainment, as they carry meaning and reflect our shared experiences. In our songs, for example, the sun symbolizes warmth and life, and themes such as family, community, and nature often feature prominently. These elements are integral to our identity and help to foster a sense of belonging among us. I'm going to finish soon. In German, the term of culture is Kultur, which corresponds to the English word culture. This concept encompasses the shared practices and expressions of a community that helps it grow. Therefore, our ethnic group is defined by the customs and traditions we embrace. That makes us grow together and not pull us backwards. Culture includes aspects such as our way of living, beliefs, arts, and social norms for future, past, and present. These elements shape our experience and interactions. It also includes our language, values, and social structures, which are fundamental to our communal identity. Some may say that religion and culture cannot go hand by hand. In this case, we would have to let go of our own language to to worship. The relationship between our faith and our cultural practices is deeply interconnected. In our spiritual and cultural expressions, we can find a profound sense of meaning and purpose. The Bible has been written in many languages. Songs have been expressed and written in different languages and cultural contexts. Through songs and rituals, we connect with our beliefs, giving thanks to God. Our songs celebrate our faith and express our hopes. While our cultural practices help reinforce our identity, our relationship with God is integral to our cultural identity, and this honors and glorifies God. Our faith is united in the love of God. Hi kam ha zeda chim kadu adong na ati sia chun cheu khat ni chun khri fa sinak a hin nunphung chu a her lo tia kan ti ton khri fa sinak le nunphung kan thleidan a chun kan cha kan hot le kan thuam na he thlot di a haulai zai cha tia hi thil na ni chun kanin nun pi mi kan nunphung an se chu cha mi phun kip ni an ma le ring on an tume an mi phun tha o in pathian an thang that e an mi phun hot le cha in pathian bia chu an tial e an chim cheu e an mi phun thuam an ni thuam cheu ko chu cha pathian biak nak asim hana man ton mi nun phung pakhat kan ni hrom kho lo kan ni hrom kho mi pakhat chu pathian ni an kan dot nak long hi se kan ma le nun phung cheu in pathian kan thang that chu pathian sunpa nak lang tar tu si tikai ka ma wen chim ka du. So especially the young people like me and people who are here and still growing up, we have been through a lot back in our country, and we have to know where we come from, and it's so important that we know where we come from, that we embrace our culture, and we have to acknowledge the people who have suffered in the past, like our parents. They have been suffering a lot. So we have to appreciate everything that they have been sacrificing, and they are still sacrificing for our future. So let's not forget our culture. Let's embrace it. This is the culture that God has given to us. And through that, we'll glorify God. May God bless you all. Thank you.